And, you know, asking these two to come on was really a commitment for them because, you know, Shawn don't live real close here, neither does Kristen, and plus she's working. But Shawn and Kristen are here, and you all know them. Shawn, Kristen, come on over. You'll be able to see yourselves on the TV, so you'll know you're situated, but you can stand in between Sharon and I, and we'll give you the microphone. For those of you who don't know, this is Kristen. She's a DVM at the Ely Veterinarian Clinic, and Shawn is her husband. And just to give you, and Shawn does a lot of stuff too, but we just don't have a title, right? But in all fun, these two made a trek down to the cities, didn't you? Yeah. And you had a bear.
Yes, a bear.
Not just a bear, a big bear.
Yeah, and I know that you guys left to take Ted down to the cities for his dental work the night before because you were concerned about the weather. Go ahead.
You want to go?
Tell us just a little bit about your trip. Both of you can have a microphone. Look at that. Shawn, love that microphone.
You want to talk about the trip?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was raining. Yeah. It was raining that night and supposed to get down in the 20s, so we left at 8 or 9 at night, and then got to Cloquet, slept at the casino or I slept. Kristen didn't. Slept at the casino for a couple hours, and then we got to the university right at 8. His appointment was at 8:30, so we got there a little early so they could start early. It was uneventful. It was just the roads were icy going down. Then the roads were icy coming back. We picked the only 2 days so far we've had bad roads to go down and back.
But it was really an adventure when you think about it, with bringing a bear down there in a trailer, a U-Haul trailer that was enclosed. I mean, and you guys were concerned about getting them there on time. That's why you left. Mm-hmm. So that was appreciated by the whole group out there. We really appreciate that. So sleeping in a casino parking lot, not in the casino, by the way.
Black Bear Casino. We thought it was fitting.
And Kristen didn't sleep.
Right.
So she was on her phone playing video games. I'm kidding, but what'd you do?
Tried to sleep.
Had anxiety.
Over Ted? Did you? See, we all had that problem. But, yeah, traveling with a bear is a little bit interesting, especially a 700-pound bear. Mm-hmm. But, Kristen, tell us a little bit about your, just your overall feeling when you were down there. You got to be with the surgical team, and Kristen is a DVM, and she is the surgical person, one of the surgical people at Ely Vet Clinic, correct?
Correct, yeah, so we all share surgery duties. But yeah, I can talk a little bit about the procedure. So we got there around 8 a.m., and there's a whole team of people working with Ted. So basically there was a team of board-certified anesthesiologists and then board-certified dentists. So for people that don't know, for schooling for veterinarians, we typically have an undergraduate degree and then go through 4 years of veterinary training or veterinary school. And then after that, for people that are going on to do residencies, they'll do maybe an internship or go into private practice for a while, and then they do a few additional years of like a residency. So it's similar to the education for a human physician. So these were, again, board-certified specialists. So they anesthetized Ted. We used a whole team of people to move him onto a table and then into the operating room. And then they had, I mean, it was amazing just to watch the team. They had catheters in him. They were monitoring his EKG and his end-tidal CO2 and his oxygen saturation and his blood pressure and making like fine adjustments the entire time. And then they also performed some imaging to kind of determine what his dental issues were. So he had a kind of a draining lesion on his chin that hadn't been responsive to antibiotics, so that's where I got suspicious that he had a tooth-root abscess, and so they confirmed that that was the case. He actually had 4 abscessed canines, and those were extracted, as well as a couple other teeth, and I'm sure he will feel so much better. So for people that have had an abscessed tooth before or really any dental issues, they cause a lot of pain, and I think he will feel so much better after having those teeth taken out. And it was great working with the Bear Center. I mean, when I kind of broached this subject and said, I think this is what's going on, he should have a dental, everyone was just like, yeah, how do we make this happen? And so that was fantastic to see that he was so well cared for, and everyone cared so much about, taking care of him and eliminating any potential source of pain. So it was great.
Well, it was pretty amazing seeing him. The only thing that when I seen the pictures that Kristen had sent, first thing that I seen was one with a 700-pound bear with his feet all up in the air, laying on a table, and I was like, holy cow. He looked stiff. I mean, his feet were straight up in the air. And there was an amazing team there. I couldn't believe it. And at the same time, SHAWN was hanging out.
I'm good at hanging out.
And I'm texting him. and he's not, and he's being nice, and he's not answering me because he was taking a nap at one point, right? You had to. I mean, you guys had to drive back. But what was your experience there? I mean,
well, I don't know.
You got to see a little bit of the operation itself, unloading them and everything.
Yeah, well, and I was in the room for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know about any of that stuff, so it was kind of neat to watch. It was a lot more involved than I thought. There was
Might want to hold that
3 or 4 anesthesiologists constantly doing things. I just kind of figured they'd put him under, put him on a machine, pull the teeth.
That's what I would have thought too.
There were 7 people working on him all the time. It was cool to watch.
Did you get to see how your wife's look was when she was done, or was she like really focused? I'll bet you she was focused. What was going on, right?
She probably was. I was watching Ted more. I was watching Kristen.
You know, I mean, you take a look at it, and I was looking at Ted when he came back, and they had let us know that he probably wouldn't walk out of his cage that he went down there in. And I thought, oh, he'll probably be awake. And boy, were they ever right. When he came back, he was like a pancake laying in there. He wasn't about to move a whole lot, was he?
No. So with bears, I mean, it's always, anytime a patient goes under anesthesia, there's always risks with that. And of course, I mean, again, it took a lot of work. I don't think it's, you know, anyone's dream to have a 700-pound bear under anesthesia, especially an older one. I mean, that there are a lot of risks there, and so it took a lot of work. And then just the fact that, you know, he's preparing for hibernation, so he's already pretty tired, and he has all of the fat that he has stored up for that time, and so that just complicates kind of how the drugs are circulating and released. So it just took him a little while to wake up, but he's doing well. Yeah.
He's doing fantastic, and I actually felt bad because poor Kristen. I mean, I'm texting her, she's texting me, she's apologizing to me, and I'm apologizing to her. And it's like, no, I'm bothering you. But we started to worry about Ted a little bit, and then we find out, you know, 4 to 5 inches of fat, and that stores the anesthesia. So it takes a while for that to work out. And last night he came walking out, looked around, went to the bathroom.
He did?
Did his thing, turned around, and walked right back into his house. And I'm like, I'm sure glad you went in that house tonight. Because there's something about houses and animals that you want them in there. You don't want to see them laying outside in the cold with the snow. Which brings me to, just to give you a little background on SHAWN and Kristen, if it's okay with you. They do a little bit more with animals than just, although Kristen is heavily with animals all day. Every 5 days a week, I would guess, right? Or more. And they also have a dog kennel, correct? So they're in the Musher family. And they've ran some nice races. Kristen runs races, SHAWN runs races, so they know about animals, and they care about animals, don't you?
Yep.
The dogs are our friends. They get us back to wherever we're going, and that's why it was so neat to have him take care of Ted. I felt so comfortable with both of you being down there, and I really did. I kept telling these guys, Sharon, I know, was a wreck, but I got to admit I was too. But I just knew with you two, we didn't have nothing to worry about, and I mean that wholeheartedly. We really didn't. I kept telling Sharon all to look at. I know how he is with his dogs, and I know how Kristen is. You know, seeing you, watching you, blows me away with these dogs. He lets them out of the trailer to line up, and they walk up to where they're supposed to be, and I'm thinking, what am I doing wrong? And I'm like, really? They're gonna.
But I've worked with Dr. Kristen with not only Ted, but all the bears for about 4 years now, 5, something like that. And my trust level with her is 100%. And then this guy is standing outside Ted's enclosure, and I walked up and I said, "Are you SHAWN?" And yeah, I said, okay. I have no problem because he's so calm. There is no stress in him at all. Probably deep down he was because we're hauling with the crate. It was, I think I to 950 pounds, plus probably a little bit more with Ted in the crate. So it all went super smooth, and Ted cooperated, and I just thank you guys so much. You did just a spectacular job with our beloved Ted.
So the group that's out there watching right now and the people that are supporting the North American Bear Center for Give to the Max wanted to really let you guys know how much they appreciated it. They wanted to let the U of M know how much they appreciated it. And I told them just to send the cards and the stuff here, and we get them to whoever needs to receive those. But they really, everybody appreciates it. And our fundraiser is helping get a new enclosure for Ted that'll be more vet-friendly for you,
Right.
because she's going to be around a long time. Kristen's going to, she's going to be here because she knows the bears. She's going to be here a long time, right?
I hope so.
Okay. But, you know, and you can follow, I'm going to give you a little bit of information on this one too, and Sean's going to probably kick me. Yeah, well, of course, he's pretty mellow. He won't. But you'll say something to Kristen. But you can follow Shawn and Kristen on the Bear Grease. They're going to be running the Bear Grease sled dog race. Shawn's training for the marathon. You've ran that before. How many times?
I think 4.
How many?
I think 3 or 4.
He's run it 3 or 4 times with sleep deprivation. So he was practicing for that with the TED trip. So, and Kristen, you've read the mid-distance, right?
Yep, last year.
Yeah. And are you going to run that again this year?
Yes.
Darn. She's going to run it again this year. That was my goal, but it ain't going to happen probably. But it's going to be really neat to follow you guys and watch, and maybe I can zip over there and just watch the whole process that they go through. It's a great group of people, and so sleep deprivation for them is, I think Shawn told me a week or so ago, and I actually do listen to him. He said that they were getting ready 2 months early for not getting enough sleep, and he laughed. Remember, you said, how did you say that?
I can't remember, but that's what it feels like.
He's like, well, I got to practice not getting sleep, so it'll be okay driving Ted down there. But we really thank you guys for taking the time to come up here. And Kristen, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. We love Ted and all the other bears, so it's really been an honor taking care of them, and it's been great to work with you guys.
Well, we got a fabulous vet clinic up here, a fabulous group of people that work there. I watch these people when I go there with my dogs, and it's unreal. You wouldn't believe how busy that place is in Ely, Minnesota. And then when the tourists come up, they bring their dogs. In fact, them dogs come from all over to go to your vet clinic. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
What does that tell you about the doctors there and the staff? So, what should they do? They should donate to Give to the Max, right?
Right.
Yeah,
You're
that's
big
right.
about asking about donations, right? Kristen, are you?
Yes, I mean, it's great that we're able to take Ted to the university, and it would be nice to have the funds to continue to give the bears just the best care that they can get. So.
That's from Kristen. Shawn, you said all you need to say.
That's right.
You're good. And believe me, he is really like this, except when him and I get going. My wife will say to me, I say, well, Sean's on his way over. I'll see you in an hour. Because we always got to catch up. So, but thank you, too, for coming. And we want to get that goal up there, so we'll be back on live at 10 o'clock. Make sure you tune in at 10 o'clock. Kristen, thank you. I know that you guys are nuts there at the vet clinic. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Shawn, thank you for driving up.
you.
No
I
problem.
think Sean's thinking about taking that cage back.
Somehow it's got to get back.
We still got to return that cage to the Minnesota Zoo. And by the way, thank you, Minnesota Zoo, for letting us use that cage. It fit Ted perfect with a little push. That's a whole nother story. Loading that bear into that cage. Ted is no dummy. He did not want to go in that cage at first, did he?
No.
He
got in there.
What did?
He walked right in at first, and then
we were shocked.
we couldn't get the doors closed fast enough, and he just walked right back out.
I don't know if I call that walk.
He did not walk.
He does have a slight more movement than what you think.
Yeah, he's fast for a big bear.
But Shawn came up with a good idea, and we got her handled, right?
He got in.
He got in. So it's all about calmness.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going to sign off. Thank you. And we'll see you at 10 o'clock. let's get that number moving. We want to get up to 80%. We really, really, really need to hit 40,000 long before midnight tonight, because it's going to be a long day for all of us. We haven't got much sleep in the last week. Of course, you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Because he's practicing for the race.
He has no bags under eyes. Look at that.
You just can't see him. It's his whole face is bagged. Anyway, I'm kidding, Sean. Yeah. But anyway, thanks again, and we'll see you guys at 10 o'clock. Stay tuned. Bye now.